Alright, what's going on, guys? So I have to redo this video because the microphone cut out and I lost the last half. So what I'm doing today is I'm demonstrating how these vinyls react in, let's say, room temperature. Right now it's 21 degrees Celsius in the shop, and which is about 71, 72 around there Fahrenheit. It's room temperature. And we're going to see how these react to room temperature when we go to pull them or rip them. All right, so I have 4 brands here. I have CYS, I have CYS pink, I have Vvivid muscular magenta, I have Avery gloss metallic gray, did that on the Challenger, and we have 3M psychedelic. These are all gloss. And then we have Avery satin black and 3M matte metallic blue, frosty blue, whatever it's called. I'm going to show you how each one of these reacts. I want to bring in a couple of matte finishes just so you can see that they're more or less the same thing and how they react. I don't have anything by Vvivid or CYS right now in the matte finish, so otherwise I'd show it. But we're going to go through this. All right, we're going to do a little test and we're going to try and rip it first. So this is the CYS, comes with a cap on it. Really nice color. Pretty easy to work with, actually. Turned out really nice when we did this on the Porsche Carrera. And let's actually just pull it first, all right? So I'm going to pull it, and I'm going to rate this about 10 being the hardest and most difficult to break or rip, 1 being the easiest, all right? So 10 being like I can't do it, and 1 being like it just falls apart in my hands. So I'm pulling pretty good. I don't think I can do it without pulling a muscle in my shoulder or something, so that's got a lot of stretch on it, and it has some pliability to it, which is nice. And yeah, it won't rip. Sorry, it won't just crack in half. Let's do a tear test, all right? My guess is all these films will tear. So, since I've already done this the second time now, how easily they tear really depends. So I have to really try here to get an edge, and it's still not really happening. All right, so there it is. It's really kind of strong, like it holds together really well. All right, what I don't want to do is not be fair and pull it where I've already pulled it, because it's usually a little bit easier to tear it where I've already pulled it, but it still holds up really well. All right, so much more difficult as far as being able to tear it goes. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to rate that about a 7 in order to tear it. It took quite a bit of effort, and a 9 to pull it apart. That's CYS. Let's do some Vvivid. All right, so we have Vvivid here. Vvivid on the backing paper. Take the backing paper off, and let's try to pull it apart. I don't think I can do it. So again, so I say CYS and Vvivid are like a 10 as far as being able to pull it apart goes. I'm not even going to try put more effort than that into it. That's enough effort. Let's tear it. So see how it tears. So it definitely takes some effort to get it to tear, but it does tear pretty easily once you get it going. Okay, so it does tear a lot easier than CYS. The CYS is extremely difficult to tear, so I give this like a 7. Sorry, about a 6 as far as difficulty goes. Maybe 1 tier down from CYS. Let's do some Avery. Avery gloss metallic gray. It says Avery on the backing paper. I'm doing this demonstration for information purposes, since a lot of you did ask for this video, and after I wrapped the Mercedes front bumper, the Mercedes GTR front bumper, I was showing you how easily the 3M tore. Well, I wanted to show you what the other brands are like as well, and since you were asking. So again, we're going to pull Avery. Very pliable. Oh, punched myself. But it does rip, okay? Very pliable, but it will rip, okay? So that's gonna be like, I'm not pulling it as hard as the CYS and Vvivid. I'd say I'm pulling that at like a 7. So again, that's coming down from like a 9 or a 10 CYS and Vvivid. Let's tear it, all right? Now, Avery has to be one of my favorite films. It kind of spoils you when you use it. So as far as ease of install goes, I do like it. It does have its drawbacks though, and it's very thin, so it's not a very good protector against scratching and stone chips and stuff like that. It can take a beating from that kind of stuff. So let's try and tear it, all right? Okay, that wasn't too bad to get started. Okay, I'm giving it some effort though, giving it like a 4, but it does tear pretty easily, all right? Again, temperature in here. So the tearing thing is kind of like irrelevant. You're not really going to be tearing your vinyl like that. The main thing is the pulling, all right? So when I'm pulling it apart, that's more so what we're testing. The tear, I mean, vinyl will tear, anything will tear, and for the most part, it's going to tear, and you just got to be careful. That's all. Let's do 3M. Remember, it's all the same temperature in here. This is not changing. So 3M, set on the backing paper, it says it right here. If I didn't show you that. 1080 psychedelic. All right, let's go. Doesn't take much. I'm not pulling it that hard. No, it's holding up a bit better there. But it's holding up a little bit better because I have already stretch lines in it, which is making it more difficult to tear. But as a flat piece of film, it does snap apart pretty easily. Can't do that with any other ones. All right, so we have to be careful. All I'm saying is that you have to be careful when you're installing 3M, because you're going to want your surface temperature to be a little bit warmer, because the car is going to be cooler than the ambient air temperature. Usually it's steel, right? So, or aluminum or whatever. Aluminum might not be as cool, but steel is definitely going to be a little bit cooler. Let's tear it, all right? That's like, I give it a 1.5 because we can't go down as far as 1, 1.5 to 2, all right? It's super easy to tear. So that's a challenge that you face when you're installing 3M. You have to add heat, or make sure your surface temperature or your ambient air temperature is high enough that that's not going to happen. It's more so the pulling apart thing, okay? Because when you're pulling it across on a bumper, you do not want that to snap. That's a big piece of vinyl. It's happened to me on quarter panels before, where I've gone to reposition the film and it's just snapped in half. So that's like usually 12 feet or so of vinyl, or 15 feet of vinyl wasted, gone. So you got to be careful of that. This is just things I'm just trying to help you be a little bit mindful when it comes to installing these different types of films. If I had other films, like right now I don't have Hexus or Oracal or APA. Those are another few brands, KPMF. So if I ever do get those ones here, I will demonstrate those for you as well. That way you can kind of get a good feel of what all the brands are like. There are still some other brands that are not commonly used that I probably may never get, but who knows. Anyways, this is Avery Satin Black. It's got a different feel to it than most of the films. So when it comes to 3M, CYS, and Vvivid, they kind of feel very similar in their pliability just right off the bat. So this feels really flimsy and delicate, but it's not. So this stretches, and it stretches, and it stretches. It's amazing, actually. I have no idea why the satin black is any different than the gloss, but it seems to stretch a little bit better and not break. It does lose color, of course, because you can only stretch film so far, but look at that, it stretches like crazy. So this is stretch on stretch on stretch right now, and it's just going, and it's still holding up. It's pretty interesting, right? I can probably pull it until it's almost completely transparent. Check it out. So this is what I mean when it comes to challenges. So Avery is very easy to overstretch, and if you add too much heat or you overstretch it, you're gonna get color issues, all right? And you don't want that. So, but like I can just do this cold without even adding any heat. So keep that in mind when you're installing it, right? These are all challenges. They're challenges between every brand. It's knowing how to install them correctly, which is going to help you get there and get the job done. All right, let's take the tear test. So it's definitely more gummy than the gloss for whatever reason. It does hold together a lot better. It doesn't just tear. So that is pretty good in my opinion. I'm gonna rate 3M on the gloss to rip it apart and to tear it around 2. So let's give it an average of 2, just by pulling it apart and by tearing it. The other ones, Avery, I'd say I'd give it about a 5, 4 or 5, and then CYS is around, CYS is on the highest level as far as difficulty goes, is about 9, and then Vvivid is about a 7 or 8. All right, but both CYS and Vvivid I could not pull apart. Now we've got 3M, this matte metallic blue. This is like a matte metallic powder blue. Again, oh, this is not 3M. Wow, that's Avery. Let's grab the 3M green that I just did. All right, so I have it right here. Thought that was 3M for some reason. All right, here's the green, guys, that I just did on the Mercedes GTR, where I did the little video of it ripping. So we're gonna pull it apart. All right, let's do it. Gone. All right, try and grab it in a good spot. It just snaps. That's one thing you gotta be careful of. Okay. Let's do the tear test on the green. Tear test on the green, all right? So this is satin Sheer Luck green. Let's see how it tears. Okay, just as easy as the gloss.